Take a good look at this picture. This is Mohammed Kamara standing in the kitchen of his new terraced home in Nuneaton, a home supplied by the Home Office, given to him just 6 months after arriving in Britain. Before we get into this ludicrous story, make sure you like this video and subscribe to the channel for more British content. Now let that sink in. 6 months, half a year. He's not British, he's not paid into the system, he's not worked, contributed, or even been here long enough to understand the struggles of the people who actually built this country. Yet he's living in private accommodation with a fully kitted out kitchen, while thousands of young British families can't even dream of having a place like this. What message does that send? That arriving here from somewhere else gets you more security and comfort than being born and raised in Britain? That playing by the rules, working and struggling doesn't count for as much as simply stepping off a plane or a boat. Walk through any town in this country and you'll meet people who've been on housing waiting lists for years, families crammed into temporary flats, young couples who've all but given up on the dream of owning their own home, veterans sleeping rough on the streets. These are people who are British, who have given to this country, who should be the priority. Yet when it comes to housing, they're shoved to the back of the queue. And here's the insult. While they wait, people who arrived just months ago, with no ties to this country, no history here, no stake in our future, are being handed the keys to homes ordinary Brits can't get near. It's not just unfair, it's insulting, it's a betrayal, because what it shows is that Britain has stopped putting its own people first. The housing crisis, the shortages, the waiting lists, all of it somehow doesn't apply when it comes to newcomers. For them, doors swing open. For British citizens, the doors stay firmly shut. And this isn't an isolated story. There are thousands more just like it up and down the country. Thousands of properties being filled not with struggling British families, but with people who've only just arrived. And ordinary people are left wondering, how did it come to this? How did we end up in a country where being British seems to mean less than being a recent arrival? Because 6 months, that's all it took. 6 months to go from stepping into this country to standing in a brand new kitchen in a fully furnished house. Meanwhile, British people are being told to wait for years, or make do with whatever scraps are left. The truth is, it's ridiculous, it's insulting, and it's unsustainable. Britain cannot keep giving away homes to people who have no roots here while its own citizens are left behind. This isn't compassion, this isn't fairness, this is a system that values outsiders over its own people. And if it doesn't change, the sense of betrayal, anger, and despair among ordinary Brits is only going to grow. So the question is simple: if someone can arrive here and within 6 months be housed, why can't a British family who's been waiting 6 years get the same? Why is everyone except the British being put first in Britain? Because right now, it doesn't just look ridiculous. It looks like Britain is abandoning its own people. At the heart of this story isn't just one man in one house. It's a reflection of a system that seems upside down. Ordinary British people who've worked, paid in, and built their lives here are left on endless waiting lists, while newcomers are placed at the front of the line. That isn't fairness. That isn't justice. And it certainly isn't putting Britain first. Until the government addresses this imbalance, the anger and frustration across the country will only deepen. Because if Britain doesn't stand up for its own people, then who will? What do you make of this? Surely this can't continue. Surely the British people can't continue to be treated as second-class citizens in their own country, while people who break the law to come here get free handouts. This is completely backwards and something needs to change. And fast. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. In other news, Zia Yusuf has claimed that the Labour government is driving the country towards bankruptcy, declaring Chancellor Rachel Reeves is the architect of the accelerating decline of the British economy. Speaking to the media, the Reform UK policy chief hit out at Ms Reeves surviving Sir Keir Starmer's cabinet reshuffle, branding it a testament to the utter paucity of talent available to this Prime Minister. The Prime Minister was forced into a major cabinet reshuffle following the announcement of Angela Rayner's resignation as Deputy Prime Minister. Chancellor Rachel Reeves remained in her position, but David Lammy was appointed as Ms. Rayner's replacement, as well as Justice Secretary, with Yvette Cooper moved to Foreign Secretary and Shabana Mahmood taking her position as Home Secretary. Criticizing the decision by the Prime Minister, Mr. Yusuf told GB News, "The fact that he hasn't sacked Rachel Reeves is testament to the utter paucity of talent available to this Prime Minister. Rachel Reeves has been the architect of the accelerating decline of the British economy. We're seeing our 30-year bond yields, gilts now at multi-decade highs. Britain pays more to finance its debt than Greece. If you look at the interest payments alone in our national budget, 1 in every £12 of taxpayer spending is now to pay interest." Hitting out at Miss Reeves further, he fumed. What has Rachel Reeves done since she became Chancellor? She's increased national insurance contributions, it's a tax on jobs. And what happened? There were fewer jobs right there. A lot of people have been taken off the payrolls. Obviously the inheritance tax rate on farmers, the appalling situation in terms of the winter fuel allowance that they told nobody about. Warning of the upcoming budget in November, Mr. Yusuf explained. If you look at what's being rumoured, well-sourced rumours about the next budget, a latest harebrained idea, taxing people on their primary residences, something that hasn't been known for decades. Then also talking about adding national insurance to rent for landlords, all that's going to do is increase rent prices even more. One of the criticisms of Rachel Reeves has often been she doesn't get second and third order consequences. This is the first order consequences of her decision. The Reform UK policy chief expressed little confidence in Reeves's future in the role, claiming she is on borrowed time. He stated, "The bond markets do not care whether British kids get good schooling, whether people are struggling. They just care about being paid, and the clue as to what's coming once Rachel Reeves goes, and I think she is on borrowed time, quite literally, is when she started crying on the front bench." Regardless of what anyone's view is on that, you saw a big gap down in British bonds, and the reason for that was they were terrified about what might come after. Asked why the Prime Minister has kept Ms. Reeves in her job, Mr. Yusuf concluded, "Because this Labour government is utterly devoid of talent. If you want evidence for that, I think we will get an earlier general election than 2029. But you better hold on to your hats because we're going to get something worse than Starmer, worse than Reeves." He added, "Nigel will be the Prime Minister at some point, but we're going to see Rachel Reeves is going to be gone reasonably soon. I think Starmer will go reasonably soon after that. The people that come after them inside Labour will be way worse, and the markets, there's a real chance of a real big problem for Britain." What are your thoughts on what we discussed in today's video? Let me know down in the comments section below. If you've not yet already, make sure you do drop a like on this video and subscribe to the channel for more British content. Thank you, take care, goodbye.